Gentlemen, can I help you? What are you taking pictures of?
I answered your question,
sir.
I answered your question.
Okay, I'll get home my supervisor for you.
How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press coming to you today from Denver, Colorado, and we are at the Richard T. Castro Denver Human Services Center. I'm out with Watching the Watchmen today, and we're going to take a walk around and pay a little visit on these folks and find out if they honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas of public buildings and property. Just to give you a little view of the neighborhood here where we are. The other side of the sign had some graffiti on it, so let me get you a better shot here. All right. Ready there, Watchman?
Yeah.
John. So we have Old Glory waving in the breeze, as she should, a little faded, along with the Colorado state flag. So again, this is the Richard T. Castro Human Services Center. Building was dedicated in 1999. A lot of smokers around here, huh?
There's a few.
Yeah.
Can I help you, gentlemen? Gentlemen, can I help you?
Me?
What are you taking pictures of?
you right now. Can I get your
why?
Can I get your name and guard number?
No.
Well, then I have nothing to say to you. Have a good
Why?
day. You don't want to identify yourself. I don't know who you are.
What's it for?
I know your name's Doug Quiggle, but I don't know beyond that.
What are you here for?
If you'd like to identify yourself, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you.
My name is Doug Quiggle.
Okay. Can I get your guard number?
My guard number?
Yeah.
No.
Aren't you supposed to identify yourself properly? All right, well, we got your security
here
badge
for?
there. Taking some video.
Why?
Now, you said you were going to ask me a question. That's two
Yes.
questions.
I'm
I
asking you
answered
a
your question.
sir.
I answered your question.
Okay, I'll get home my supervisor for you.
Okay. Tell him I said hello.
Talk to him?
Do I want to talk to your supervisor? Not at all.
Okay, what are you here for?
You
should-
let's start all over again civilly, okay?
Okay, what are you here for?
You came out yelling, okay?
No.
You asked me.
I'm asking you.
You're not
what
letting
are
me
you
finish
here
your sentence. You asked me if you could ask me a question. I said you could.
for? Okay.
So you asked me what I
are you
was
here
doing. You asked me what I was doing, and
Yeah.
I said I'm taking video. So I
Okay,
answered your
why?
question. I'm not looking to answer any more questions.
Why do you ask? Why are you doing videos?
I just said I'm not interested in answering any more questions.
Okay, well.
I'm not disturbing anybody.
Let's see if somebody I can talk to them.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Roger that. Might have been happy to have a civil discussion, but I'm not interested in being yelled at.
Okay. It's public domain. They can film all they want. All right.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It's public domain.
Public domain.
Yeah, you're out here on the sidewalk. You
Right.
can't film inside, but
No, of course, we wouldn't even want to go inside. And now, let me ask you, since we're here, can I just get your name and badge number?
sure. It's Robert Fambro,
Okay,
06089.
that's how it's done.
Okay.
Very professional, thank you. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you being cordial as well.
Okay.
That goes a long way. You know, when somebody comes across to me like that, I'm happy to have a conversation with you.
Sure.
So as far as filming inside of the building, that's prohibited?
Well, so it's a public building.
Okay.
But what happens is once you come inside, we have people in there who are seeking help
Okay.
and assistance.
Sure.
And they don't want to be filmed in their vulnerable times. So we ask that people not do it. And we actually, there's a state law that actually mandates that certain government buildings we can set restrictions on, and this is one of them.
Now, would that be for restricted areas, or is that for public areas of the building?
Anywhere inside this building.
Anywhere inside the building. So you mentioned.
Again, it's just it's a matter of public decency.
Oh no, I understand
because
that.
people who come here are at the literally bottom rung sometimes.
Okay.
And they don't want to be filmed looking for help and looking for assistance and doing
Well, if you notice, we stayed outside, so
Sure.
you can get a good feeling that I respect that. Yeah, no problem at all. The only reason I'm asking you these questions is so I can be clear on what the regulations are, so I don't violate any regulations because I'm not interested in doing that. But as far as not filming inside the building, so you mentioned state law. That's actually a state law,
There is a state law.
or is that a policy of the building?
No, it's a state law. It was enacted by the legislature a few years ago. If you gave me a few minutes, I could get you a copy of it.
Oh, that would be great if you could. Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
appreciate
well,
that.
yeah,
Okay,
we get it.
awesome. Well, there you go, Doug. Lesson learned today.
Yeah. Really?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
These guys treat you right in there?
I smile for the camera.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're here. We're looking out for you guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
They helped us out with everything.
Anything you could, I don't know if you're interested in letting me know what your experience, nothing personal, but you know, what's your experience with these guys? Do you,
Project, actually, truthfully, they've been pretty good help.
they take care of you? They do what you need? All right, good. No, that's what,
So far.
yeah. And that's,
just a 30-day turnaround food stamps, but
gotcha.
That's
Okay.
life.
But you go in there, they're cordial to you. They don't try to boss you around and
No.
make you feel bad about yourself. They're nice and cordial. And
They're pretty good with us.
Yeah.
excellent. That's what we want to hear.
They've
Good.
been pretty good.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Take care. Well, that's good news. All right, so the officer that we spoke to is inside and is going to get a copy of the state law that authorizes them to prohibit filming and recording inside of the building. So I want to take a look at that, and we'll take it from there. Stand by. Let's do a little time and temperature check for you here. Today is Thursday, January 16th. It is 1:19 in the afternoon, and it is 37 degrees in Denver, Colorado. A man of his word.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm liking you more and more by the minute.
So here's what it is. It's unlawful conduct on public property.
Okay.
Basically, the whole law here outlines everything.
Okay.
I'll let you read it. CRS 189-117, and basically allows public buildings to set what type of activities can happen inside the building. And in some cases, like police lobbies,
Okay.
we don't want recording and it's posted at police lobbies. We don't want
In a police lobby?
Yep.
Really?
You can go look
I can't tell you how many police lobbies I've been into, and I've never been asked not to record.
most of
in
the
one.
time we won't even mess with you.
Yeah.
It gives us the ability to tell you, hey, please stop filming. That way, if we had somebody who came in
I got you.
and said, let's say we had somebody reporting a sex assault at the station lobby,
Okay.
and somebody happened to come in with a camera, we can get, hey, look at the sign here.
Now let me just say this, and I get that 100%.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not looking to pry into anybody's underwear drawer.
Sure.
That's the last thing I don't even want to go there. But at the same time, if somebody comes in with some very personal, sensitive discussion to be had like that, or a complaint to
Correct.
file, or an issue like that, wouldn't you take them into a private room?
In some cases we would, in some cases we can't. For instance, at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, we may not have the personnel available to bring that person into a secure area of a police station
Okay.
immediately, if that makes sense. Now, we might be able to bring officers off the street and whatnot, but there's that lag time. That's the reason why we keep those lobbies.
Well, then wouldn't you just say to somebody, I have an officer coming in, be here in 5-10 minutes?
yeah,
and-
absolutely, but still,
Because you know what,
that
my
person now.
You know what it is? Because, and you're bringing up a valid point, and I agree with you. You don't want us to trample on anybody else's rights.
Right.
But then by not allowing us to record, that person's needs are trampling on my rights.
Not
So it's a
necessarily.
two-way street.
Not necessarily. The Supreme Court has long upheld rules about time, manner, and circumstances, and we're allowed to dictate. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater.
No, you can't.
Okay. There's limitations on how much you can and cannot do.
Well, but the Supreme Court's also ruled that you can't trespass somebody's eyes. So basically, whatever I can see, I can video record.
Until you go into like a police facility, which, again, you're welcome to challenge this law.
Oh, no.
But that was passed specifically.
I'm not looking to challenge it right here with you
specifically
because
for
you're
that.
not the person to make that decision anyway.
Well, no,
You're just following orders.
Right.
Right. So
I'm just following the state law.
right, exactly.
So,
And I appreciate that.
You had our security guards out here. They get agitated because they see this, because
No,
employees
well-
are going to them, and so he came out there. He's like, yeah.
Let me tell you something. He walked out the door agitated. I think you could tell from just talking to me. I vibe off of your vibe, and that's somebody else's. Somebody said that to me the other day, and I like the way that goes. And I'm sure when you guys are out on patrol, you pull somebody over.
Right.
If he's a nice guy, you're going to be nice. If it's somebody throwing you an attitude, you're going to get a little bit of an attitude. So we all vibe off each other. Right. So the security guard didn't come out and get upset with me. He walked out the door upset.
Well, what happens?
And it's all on video, and that's why we record.
What happens in these things is employees go to the security guards first. We're in here not to keep the peace of the building. We're
Of
in
course.
here for people to report crimes to us.
Well, you're here to
And
keep the peace of the building as well.
Well, to some degree, but the security guards are our front line for that. Okay. So
Well, security guard's job is just to observe and report.
we're
You
here
guys
for-
are the ones
we're
that
here
take the
for other
action.
reasons. So people go in, started complaining to him, so he came out here to talk to you. Then he came, when he got frustrated with you guys, he came in and immediately got us. I'm like, hey, you heard what I told him.
Right.
You guys can film out here. I don't have any issues with that. If one of the higher ups here say, hey, they don't want you to film out here, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I've never heard that.
Right.
The only thing that we ask is that we don't have open filming going on inside the.
No, and I get that. I just think that the security guard, because, and I say this all the time, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, de-escalation is key. And once things...
It's a policy of ours. I mean, we like de-escalation so much we enshrined it into our operations.
We like de-escalation so much we enshrined it into our operation.
Absolutely. No, and you also know that once things start going up, it gets more and more difficult to bring them back down.
Sure.
So you always try to start out at the bottom. Right? And come out cool, calm, and collected and say, hey, how's it going, guys? Beautiful. Ooh, a little chilly out here. Can I ask what you're filming? You came out being respectful and very courteous and very professional, and I told you that, and I was happy to discuss things with you. But, I'm a 50-year-old man. Somebody starts barking at me, and I don't really want to hear it. And I got,
Understand.
and I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Sure.
You're a little young yet. You can probably put up a little more than we can. Right? But, and that's all it is. So you already know what we're doing here, I'm sure.
I honestly don't.
No? You didn't even ask.
No.
Well, you know what? I'm proud of you. I appreciate that. What we're doing, and I'm going to tell you.
I'm
because,
assuming you're filming.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, and you're a smart guy, too.
Either
See?
that or you're holding a stick with a camera on it. I don't know.
This is
One
why
of
I
the
like
two
to hang
things.
out with smart people. It's the no, honestly, and I'm not trying to be funny. You're an example of how these things should be handled.
Yeah.
You really are a shining example of that, and you're, I guess, learning and.
No, he's.
Well,
he
what,
taught
you know
me
what?
how to do most of this stuff. So.
Yeah, well, we're all. I'm learning too. I learn something new every day. You know, so it's something old every day, I should say. But no, and that's how it should go. Because security, when he comes out with that kind of attitude, and especially, like you said, most of the people around here are going through a difficult period in life, so they might be a little short fused or a little raw. And it's very easy to spark a fire when everything's dry and there hasn't been any rain for 6 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
So. Maybe somebody should just let him know that if he comes out and he's a little more cordial with people, he might get a little more information out of people and might be able to de-escalate and avoid some problems.
Yep.
You know, that's what we're looking to do. So what we're doing out here is a First Amendment audit.
Okay.
Have you heard of it before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you knew what I was doing, you just weren't sure that's what I was doing. You've heard of First Amendment audits.
You could do any of 100,000 things. So,
Okay. And-
you know, there's all sorts of people who come up here and film for all sorts of reasons.
Oh, they do? Have you had any auditors here before?
We have no. I've never had an auditor here. I only work here on Thursdays.
Okay.
But I've never had an auditor. But we've had people come up here and do news stories. We've had other. You know, we have
Sure.
cameras set up out here. All
Well, the news gets treated a lot better than we do. You know, when you have Channel 7 or Channel 4 on the side of your van, you get a little preferential treatment better than we do. But the reason we do what we do, and then I'll let you get back to work because I know you're busy, but just so you understand why we're doing this, we're not agitators. We're not out here trying to cause problems. I think you can tell by the way I'm communicating with you. We believe in the Constitution, okay? You guys swear an oath to it,
Sure.
right? It's a very important thing, and I think the Constitution's taken a beating lately, and our rights are being eroded in this country faster than we keep up with. So what we're doing is we're just out in public exercising our rights. Because rights are like muscles, and if you don't exercise them, you lose them.
Yep.
That's all we're doing. Simple as that. We're just out to take video and find out what kind of a reaction we're going to get, and hopefully educate someone. We're looking for the good reactions more than I'm looking for bad reactions, but we like to find the bad reactions too because that gets me views on YouTube. I'll be honest with you. You know, nobody likes to watch the good stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that many views because you were a good guy. And
trust me, I've had plenty of views.
have you had experience with an auditor somewhere else, or no? Never been on YouTube. All right. Well, and you know, just to keep it simple, that's all it is. So I just think, you know, if I can leave here today knowing that maybe you'll just pat the guy on the back. He didn't do anything terrible. Maybe just pat him on the back, whisper to him, say, hey, the guy was nice. Maybe you want to just be a little nicer next time. And I don't know if you can do that because he's not in your department.
He doesn't work for me, but you know, we have a very good working relationship with all of staff.
Good.
And so I'm usually pretty good at talking with the security guards. And so we'll discuss it with him and
All right.
let him know. But you know, my guess is this is his first
rodeo
experience with this, and I'm sure you've seen that people, when they deal with this for the first time, whether it be a citizen or a lot of my own officers that I supervise, they don't know how to, you know, where to respond. And we've, at the Denver Police Department, we put out some pretty good information on how to respond to these.
You have the training.
We still have our few officers that come out there and maybe don't do exactly what we want them to do, but that's, you know, we have an agency with 1,500 individual personalities. So, you know, I'll go in here and talk to them, but you know, sometimes when people for the first time get filmed, and you've seen it, I've watched things on drive-throughs and you know, all sorts of places where people have filmed. You can't film me.
Sure.
Well, yeah, you can. You
Yeah.
can film a lot of places.
Well, people don't know, so that's also we want to spread the word and let's just let people know. You know, this is an objective witness that doesn't lie, right? So the more cameras you got around and the more recording there is, it's just the truth.
Yep.
And I can't make you guys look bad. I can't make you look good. All I can do is record what you choose to do.
Yep.
Right? So everybody makes their own decisions. It is what it is, and you know, I just think that we all need to communicate.
Yep.
There needs to be dialogue. Sometimes people aren't, you know, suspicious
And that,
gets
you know,
thrown around
that's
a
the reason
lot.
why I came out here with the law that we kind of follow in a lot of these public buildings.
Well, you came out here with your shoulders down, very calm, cool, and collected. People that panic generally only see blocked exits. You know what I mean? So you kind of just gotta, especially when you're in a position of authority. You know, if an average person coming through here is having a hard day, they're coming to deal with their food stamp thing, and they get upset with me, I understand that.
Right.
Security guards got a responsibility to remain professional and cordial and you know, do what he's got to do the right way.
Right.
So that's all it is.
All right.
All right. So I'm glad we ran into you fellas today. Last thing I'm going to ask you is can I possibly get a business card from both of you, please? And we'll let you get back to work and enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It is a nice day.
it is.
Get a
Thank you so
sticker,
much.
too?
Appreciate that.
I'll give you a sticker if you want to.
Oh, excellent. That's cool.
You can be a
I could be an
Denver police
honorary.
officer.
Cool. Yeah, just what I've always wanted to be. Thanks. No, I appreciate it. And again, I really thank you guys for your...
So just out of curiosity, what channel is this for? Or, where is it going to show up on YouTube?
The name of my channel on YouTube, it's going to be difficult, is Amagansett Press. Amagansett's a small village in New York,
Okay.
where I'm originally from. But if you just give it a day or two, just look up Denver Human Services on YouTube. I have a small channel. I'll pop right up. You'll see me.
Okay.
All right?
Awesome.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
guys. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Good day.
God bless. Stay safe. All right, guys, so if anybody wants to take a look at this law, it's CRS 18-9-117, unlawful conduct on public property. I'm going to read through this and see what my take is. And, you know, as usual, we invite you to respond in the comments and let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts and ideas. Very interested to hear. And we'll take it from there. Also, while I'm mentioning that, if you guys enjoy what we do and you like these videos, do us a favor and share, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot, and it won't cost you a penny. Don't forget to hit the notification bell when you do subscribe, so that way you're notified of all future videos as they come out. And do the same for Watching the Watchmen's channel. Watching the Watchmen has an awesome zoom lens and gets a lot of footage and shots that I can't get with my wide-angle GoPro. So take a look at his channel. There'll be a link in the description, and subscribe to him too. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Coming to you today from the Richard T. Castro Denver Human Services Center here in Denver, Colorado. Watching the Watchmen. Amagansett Press. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Out.